Hello, Internet, and welcome to Red Jenny. Thanks for joining us this lovely Monday afternoon. We are so excited to be back and playing some more Dragon Age TTRPG. We're excited to have you here with us. Before we jump into our game, as usual, we'll go through our announcements, everything else we're going on the channel, and introduce ourselves. So, if you're watching us live right now, welcome. Make sure you follow us while you are here. We do streams here on GGK throughout the week. And you can join us for all sorts of TTRPG and sometimes video game content. Our next stream after this one, I believe, will be tomorrow. The Tuesday crew will be back with more Squire Squad. I believe they're getting pretty close to wrapping that up if this week isn't the finale. But they're barreling towards finishing that game up. So you should definitely go cheer them on tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time and see what they're up to. I don't think I said they're playing Masks. So teenage superheroes. We also have other shows we do throughout the week that most of the people that run them are here at the table, and I'll let them talk about it. Sid runs games on Thursdays called Elegance and Vigilance, where we play mismatch of D&D and Good Society, and Venn runs a
I would say the perfect match of
the perfect
Good Society
match
and D&D.
Yeah,
they actually work very well together.
We're the perfect match where we romance and carouse as socialites and then litigate jump distances for 20 minutes.
And Venn doesn't run any games on this channel, and now I'm thinking he should.
Van. That's just my
I want to
bad
play
enunciation.
I want to play in Ven's Monster Heart campaign.
Oh my god, I don't. Van runs a game on Saturdays of what was formerly Strixhaven, now Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And we are actually going Wild Beyond the Witchlight this week.
Thanks, Wally.
So we will do all that. I think that's pretty much it. I'll let everyone here talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight. And we'll start, as always, with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth. Pretty much wherever you can find people on the internet. I am on Hive Social. I'm on Instagram. I'm working my way over to Mastodon because I hear it's pretty good over there. So we'll see about that. That might be the place the new GGK account lands as well. So keep an eye out, because I might be posting social links sometime this week when I inevitably get bored at work and try to see if it'll let me on Mastodon on my work computer. Yeah, I run Dungeons and Dragons Saturday mornings. They just got sucked through a mirror, and they don't know where they're going. But damn it, Wally took them there. By touching the mirrors just as soon as it became a portal, which is incredible.
I see a surface,
energy.
I'm gonna touch it.
Incredible energy. So coming out with us there, and then Sunday nights I'm on twitch.tv/LBHack'emUp. This week we're restarting Playthings of the Gods. Tanya's back, the whole gang's back together, and we're gonna finish out our epic D&D campaign over there. But tonight I am playing Venehn, who is an elven marksman. Right now, the lyingest one in the party. Whoops.
I don't know. Yes, could give you a run for your money. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me all over the internet at Greek Sid, except on IG, where you can find me at Girl Karma. God damn it. I'm not on Mastodon yet, but I am over in Hive. I've been hearing the rumblings about how Mastodon's looking pretty good. So yeah, maybe we'll jump on over there. I don't know. You can find me here Thursdays through Mondays. Like Val said, I run our game of Elegance and Vigilance, 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursdays. It's Regency superheroes. It's great. Alex will be the death of me with that goddamn bugbear, and it's awesome. Yeah, come check that out. Yes, in a couple of weeks on Saturday, May 5th, if you're in the New York City area, come over and hang out with me for a little bit at the beautiful AnonCon. I'll be from 12 to 2. I'm boothin', and then I'll be there for the live recording. So yeah, come hang out with me.
Do you have a link for that event? Is there an online
I
thing, or?
will shortly. I
Okay.
actually just asked for that from the producers, so yeah,
Awesome.
I can sing along for sure. Tonight I will be playing Yasmera. Yas is a Kunari shadow. I don't know. The most conflicted of the party right now.
The most daddy
I don't
issues
know.
in the party right now.
Oh, the most daddy issues for sure. We'll go with that.
What's up, y'all? It's me, well, your favorite non-binary sign best friend on the internet. You can find me at Twitter, WALE132, just like the cute Disney robot. Maybe you'll find me on Mastodon with the same name, because not many people want that name that I have, so who
We
knows?
might all be going to Mastodon.
We might be all going there. Who knows? You can also find me on the other shows that these wonderful people talked about. Thursday through Mondays playing TTRPGs with one of these wonderful people. Tonight, though, you can find me playing Garas, the elven duelist and the angriest in the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a chip on his shoulder right now. No more so than usual.
Would you say it's as big as a boulder?
Yeah. Big as a boulder.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sita. You can find me on the internets at Mr. Wilt. On Instagram, you can find me at john.sita. Although, if I'm being honest, I am taking more and more time off of social media. The best place to actually find me is going to be lurking in the chats during all of the games that these wonderful people have described, doing my best to distract the players and DM from what they are actually doing. You can also find me on 1124 Simlish Lane, trying to make sure that I keep my speechcraft up and I don't burn the damn house again. I started playing The Sims again. It's bad. It's really bad. I need help. Somebody send help. Send help.
And
I can
if
send you
you've
a
been,
new DLC if you want.
and if every episode Sita's been telling you where he is, and if you follow the clues, you could be the one to save him.
Actually, Sita's actually just one big ARG that you should have been following along this entire time. And when you
You all
solve the
haven't
ARG,
been? I thought you were
Yeah.
my friends.
And thus ends our viral marketing campaign for Sita Go. You can check it out on Android and iOS.
but that's just a theory, a Sita theory.
Oh, boy. What game is this? Tonight,
Tonight.
I am playing Andros Philippe Bastille de Cartier, also known as Carter, the God, I really want to reveal my specialization. The expert of an enigmatic yep, I'm running out of other things to say. And he is at this moment possibly the most concerned for the safety of the group out of the group.
I'm sure I'm going to give you plenty of opportunities coming up very soon to reveal your specialization. That's up to you to get to. Hi everyone, I'm Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. Like most people here, kind of off social media lately. I've mostly been posting over on Instagram, just like whatever I've drawn that week. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, follow me there at Kraken's Crown without the "the" at the front, because, like Sid, I'm bad at that. Yeah, I run games on this channel a couple times a week. The other game that I run on Saturdays is called Ward 47. We play Parslings at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, part of our double header Saturdays along with Fans Game. And that is, we're wrapping up some downtime there and about to head into one of the last missions for the group, a big old one. I think they figured out that they might be going to Paris, so that'll be fun. But tonight I am running this game, and are you all ready for your recap?
Yeet.
All right. Previously on Red Jenny, we engaged in some downtime. activities for the crew. On the heels of their latest heist, you had successfully completed the job given to you by the Carda, retrieving their lost cargo shipment of smuggled goods and saving the Carta members who had been captured from presumably a life behind bars. Upon returning back to the Red Jenny winery and Val Rio, you had about 6 months as time passed in the city, heading through the heart of winter and the fields beginning to the early thaw to spring. However, with maybe a few months left to go, or a few weeks left to go, the members of our thieving group engaged in some bit of downtime activity, speaking with their found friends and family along the way. Venehn went to talk to Amara, the captain of Lady Richelieu's guard, and a personal confidant, and sometimes a little bit more confidant with benefits, I think we can go with. You had a heartfelt conversation talking about what had been going on, your lives in these last jobs, and you found out, Venehn, that the Lady Richelieu had been indisposed of visiting her sister for a few weeks during the beginning of your downtime to console her sister as Lady Richelieu's nephew was being dispatched, or I guess through his own initiative, taking as a captain of the Orlesian army, taking his battalion, his squadron, to the front lines of the fight against the Darkspawn in Hosberg to help end the siege. We discovered then that Venehn had a bit of a history with Lambert, the Lady Richelieu's nephew, and hadn't heard from him in some time, having a bit of a romantic entanglement, and being a little, I don't know if heartbroken's the right word, but
I mean, he would never admit that.
no, but maybe a little, maybe heart scuffed from the
A little crack.
yeah, from the slight, wondering if there's still anything there between them. Garas went to visit his father as usual, checking in, and had a pretty open and candid conversation about his feelings about the Marquis Valmont and the desire to take revenge against the Marquis for how he did your family so dirty. Your father, in a rather tender moment, revealed some of his own history, some poor choices and decisions he had made in his youth, and his current feelings on revenge, seeming wanting you to pursue your own life and not give everything away for the sake of taking revenge against this man. And then he hit you on the head with a book. So just to make sure that we ended that you knew exactly where you stood. Let's see, Carter took some time with the group to conduct a rather somber ritual by heading back to the Templar sort of barracks outside of the Circle Tower, where you knew your boyfriend, your paramour, had been buried some time ago, wanting to exhume the body and return it to Eckert's parents. You were able to exhume the body as well as Eckert's armor and his weapon. However, you also found something else in the process, his Templar signet, his amulet that he would have been given, befitting his station, his post. And though it was strange that he would have been buried with it, as he had been executed and as a traitor when he attempted to free you, through a bit of investigating, you did find a rather strange object inside, embedded into the the amulet, and where normally a shard of lyrium, of blue lyrium, would be contained, you instead found a crimson shard in its place as a piece of red lyrium seemed to be contained within this amulet. Carter
The only thing
understands.
scarier than bears.
Yeah, probably the only thing scarier than bears for other reasons. The knowing a bit of what this might mean and the dangers that this might pose, Carter took the amulet, planning to investigate it further and secreting it away within his chambers. You also took the time to cremate Eckert's remains so that you could transport them to make arrangements to transport them to his parents, who live in the Anderfels, I believe, near north of Hosberg. The last scene I believe we had was with Yasmera, who was doing a bit of research, a bit of study, a little study date with Wolf, where
She
you
studied
wanted
something, all right.
yeah, you wanted Wolf to help you learn some of the finer points of cryptography and code breaking to help in your pursuit to find your missing father. You studied at length with Wolf, learning some ciphers and clues along the way, taking some time to decrypt a journal that you had picked up in your investigations that you were hoping just on a wing and a prayer might have some connection to your dad. Unfortunately, it did not. And with the frustration of all of that building, Yasmera shared a bit of her feelings with Wolf, and Wolf reciprocated in an empathetic response, wanting you to know that they would be there to help and providing some sage guidance in your quest, and then sort of hinted at some ways that you might be able to take your mind off of things. And Yaz, picking up on some not so subtle clues, they started macking in the library.
Look, she's smart, just not in every way.
Yeah.
You know?
And the during your makeout session, you did actually find that at some point during your study session, somebody had slipped a note between some of the books in the shelves near you. And the note appeared to be from your father, telling you to maybe, again, more subtly back off, and he'll find you when he's ready. And yeah, that's kind of what Yaz picked up during her say, and then you started making out again. So, with all of that having happened, nearing the end of the 6 months, your bard, oh geez, we named them last time, but I don't have it up in front of me.
Alison?
Alison, I believe.
That sounds right.
Alison came to you one chilly morning or chilly afternoon and told you that he had picked up a contact, or they had picked up a contact within the city. Somebody was reaching out to Red Jenny specifically to complete a job. A little bit wary, you went to meet your new employer or potential employer at midnight in the Fountain Square in Valrio, where Garas and Venehn came face to face with the Marquis Valmont. Garas tried to hold back his rage the best possible, not attacking Valmont in the streets as Yaz and Carter stood back and kept an eye on some of the guards that were escorting Valmont on a distance as well. And Valmont told you that he had a job for you, that his cousin is a commander, or is a captain in the Orlesian army, and had sent him a letter sometime recently asking for assistance, that they had a plan along with the Grey Wardens to end the siege, and it would require a shipment of skyburners, modified lyrium explosives used for mining in Orzammar, for essentially attacking the Darkspawn and closing off the passage that they had been using to flood into the Anders. You also found out that this Captain Lambert Valmont, is, well, at least Venehn found out that this is your this is your paramour. The Skyburgers, yes. While all these emotions were reeling, concern, worry, maybe trying to figure out what you tell your friends, Garas, anger, and frustration for not being able to kill the man that you hate so much on the spot.
Mr. Belmont. I'm still reeling from
I
that.
said what I said.
You did. You returned to tell your companions and prepare for taking this contract. I believe you negotiated for what, 8,000 silver, with 4 up front and 4 upon return. Well, you asked for 5 up
and
front.
he gave us 4.
Countered with 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, half and half.
Yeah. So that was the arrangement. And I guess before we begin the next leg of our journey here, is there anything, do y'all want to discuss this job, maybe returning back to the winery on this brisk evening, being very early in the morning or late at night, depending on your perspective, the winery being dark and cold with maybe just a single hearth burning in the main entry room that has been left tended for you by your steward Reginald, knowing that you were out late this evening and may need some warmth upon your return. I'll give you a moment to maybe discuss your feelings, your plans, and you're also given a letter, I believe, by the Marquis, or at least a copy of the letter that was sent to him by his cousin Lambert. And you were told that the dwarven caravan from Orzammar would be arriving with the Skyburners for your transport within the next couple of days.
I think first thing we do when we get back is Carter will put a hand on Garrus's shoulder and he'll say, "My friend, are you well?"
Well, I'm kind of a mix of. I was angry at first, but now I have a cool head. I just have to remember that this gentleman we are assisting, he is not Belmont. He is just another person that shares his name. I can't let my own feelings get in the way of this.
I believe that is very wise of you, Garrus. If I may, I am not as educated on interpersonal relations, but if you ever wish to speak with someone who may have a, as you put it, cool head, I would be honored.
Thank you, Carter. I probably will take you up on that. He puts his hand on Carter's shoulder.
Whiskey
What?
syrup.
But right now, let's focus on preparing for this, right? You know, we are going to be on a trip. We're going to be traveling, and we need to make sure we have, the right things we need for this. Because I don't think we've ever done a mission like this before, have we?
We're going to need a lot of supplies.
What is the longest any of you have ever traveled? Wow, it's really important, huh? Yeah. What is the longest any of you have ever traveled?
I mean, the longest I ever traveled was probably 2 weeks travel.
Same.
Yes.
There's a cat in here. Whose cat is this? Which one?
That is one of the strays that I usually let in and out of the place. They like to keep the mouses at bay.
Hi, detective. So I suppose I'm in charge of sort of travel expertise.
If you have any guidance, I'm sure it would be appreciated. My thoughts on the matter would be we need to know where the hell we're going. We need to be able to get there in a somewhat comfortable and safe manner. And we need to be able to protect ourselves along the way.
Those are all true. And we're also going to need to get past a lot of people without them wanting to have anything to do with what we're carrying. Especially if we're going to be traveling main
fertilizer
roads.
carriage? I'm only somewhat kidding.
Considering what we are carrying, that actually is not that bad of an idea.
Yes, but you do want to be comfortable for the trip. Yeah, you tell them. Because
Alright.
the people who are going to be smelling that the most. That's...
Well, besides shit, what else do you think will keep people the hell away from our carriages as well, without wanting to literally chase us out of town?
Something that they think they can't afford, but something too cumbersome for them to steal. Wine?
We could be saying we're traveling with the wine.
Or something similar.
Why lie about it? Why don't we bring some of our wine? It could be a profitable side venture along the way.
See, this is what I'm thinking. We package everything up in casks. Too large to steal. No one's gonna try to steal that without some serious planning, and we're not going to be sticking around long enough for anyone to plan against us, because we want to be on the move. And maybe the couple of barrels up front are actually wine. Or cider, or something that we'll keep. It's also hard for, a guard to say, open it up and let me see what's in it. Well, you can't really do that. It's wine. I can slosh it for you. You know it's liquid. You believe me? It smells like grapes. Let's move on.
So we keep the explosives far beneath the other casks.
That is my idea.
That is a good idea.
I think it's a good one.
We could
On the
also
map-
get our name out there.
On the matter of transport, I have a personal request I would care to make.
Sure.
Eckhart's remains. His family is north of Hausberg. When we arrive there, I would like to take a detour.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Of course, we wouldn't say no to anything like that.
As always, I appreciate all of you.
We appreciate you too. Now, as far as packing goes, as light as you can. Right? You're going to think, oh, I'm going to need all this extra stuff. You don't. It's just going to sit in the bottom of the bag, and you're not going to use it. You're not going to need a bunch of extra weapons. Bring what you're comfortable with using, and the means to take care of it. But don't pack 7 daggers when 2 will suffice.
And dress warmly. Layers.
That as well. We are going north. Does everyone have good boots?
Oh yeah, I have good boots.
Good boots.
My wardrobe could be updated to less urban design.
I know a
My-
guy.
On another matter, we will also need to do things to, keep spirits up. Because we're going to be traveling for a long time. things may get kind of dour and boring at times. We want to keep ourselves in good spirits, so we're, ready for anything.
You can't bring the board games. We can't play those in the wagon.
But I'm getting really, really good at settlers.
Too many little pieces.
Fine.
You can bring cards, though.
Okay, I'll bring the cards.
Know a lot of card games. Maybe
From the
Venehn,
time
have you
that I
finished
have-
your book?
no.
You know, the one you were researching for?
No.
So you didn't finish that book then?
The one I was definitely have been writing this whole time?
That book that you figured out maybe some characters finally had some evolution?
I don't really work on deadlines of time. They're more deadlines of feeling. Yeah, I know I'm full of shit. I have to talk. I have to talk shit.
See, now you're gone. You've gone connected with that cat. That cat is now our cat.
Detective, I'm not having any of your lip right now.
Oh,
Are you bringing the cat?
Hmm?
Are you bringing the cat?
Oh, no, I would never.
That reminds me, I have a suggestion for the title. How does Valorous and Valroyo sound?
Oh, that's good. I'm going to write that down. I might actually have to write a book.
Definitely
been
have
doing-
some time on your hands.
I've been doing a little bit of, sketching down some ideas and things. I'm just not so good with the wordplay all the time, but,
Well,
I do my best wordplay in the moment, and having to sit there and think about it, it's like, oh. Ugh.
Do you want me to read your notes? Because I would love to give you to be a second dice for it if you want.
Yas pushes her hand, which does fit entirely over Garrus's
Oh.
face, and moves him out of the way. I can ghostwrite it for you. It really wouldn't be a problem.
No, I mean, I want to write it. You know what? I'll bring it with me. We should bring some books, though. We have some really fun stories. We could take turns reading. Do little, stuff. I don't know.
I
the
spy
kind of stuff.
with my little eye.
No, that's boring.
Something that is white, snow, you win again.
No. Actual entertaining stuff. Storytelling is one of the main ways we kept ourselves sane, wandering the countryside for years on end.
Well, if we're going to bring a book that we're all going to read to each other, there's this one book that I saw the other day. It is called I Am a Bartender in Val Royale and I Am Pounded at the Butt by a Wyvern. It is a fantastic story. It's very erotic fiction.
I told you not to encourage those ideas in Charles. We talked about this. You didn't see this, he gave it to you.
He's a fantastic writer. You should really check out this series of books.
Okay, you know what? Bring it and we'll see.
I will bring it. Yes, it's a fantastic book. I'm going to bring it along.
I have a really fun book I'm reading right now. It's about this assassin who's gotten caught in prison, but then this prince shows up and is like, hey, our king is holding this competition for who's going to be his new, assassin champion. And it's
Are
really
you plugging
good.
that Dove series right now, Van?
No, this is that's Throne of Glass.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost finished with the second one. They're really entertaining me. But then there's a romance because she's super interested in the prince, but then she's also super interested in his captain of the guard, and they're two totally different personalities. It's so cool.
Oh, that sounds really
It's
good.
so
I
good.
definitely
I'll
want.
bring them.
I want to read that after you're done.
There's 6
with
of
it.
them. I'll bring them.
Okay.
6 books does present a bit of a problem when it comes to space.
They're technically teen fiction.
Yeah, they're short, aren't they?
They're not long.
As y'all are.
Sorry, we're not accomplishing anything
No,
now.
it's fine. I'm ready. I think I felt the point where it was like, okay, we can move this along. Y'all are just gonna go down this route.
Sorry, I've just
this
been
rabbit
reading
hole.
Throne of Glass for the last
So-
3 days nonstop.
So provisioning is not spend the entire session shopping and stuff. If there's anything basic supplies, I'm not charging all for, warm winter, clothes befitting weather and travel. The basics.
Make sure we
nothing-
get Carter hooked up with some like good travel clothes,
Sure,
like a cloak
yeah.
and some some
That's-
sturdy boots and everything.
That's easy enough to come by. If there's anything else that you want to buy to take with you, as far as like equipment,
Horses.
weapons and stuff. So I do have those in a second. So anything else, let me know what you want to buy to take with
Map.
you.
Map.
Well, yeah. So I have 3 things. Let's discuss the 3 things that I have prepared then that are specifically going to help you on your journey. So I told you all a bit. There will be 3 checks that you will be making at each leg of the journey to determine how it goes, and you need to succeed by a certain threshold in order to succeed on the journey itself. The 3 the 3 I hit the wrong. The 3 sort of options that I gave you.
The suspense is killing me.
3 what?
I was trying to hit the 1 button to type something, and I hit my mute button instead. So the 3 checks that you'll be making are either a cartography cunning check, a driving strength check, and a morale willpower check. You don't need 3 people to make those 3 checks. You can decide who it is, and you can switch throughout the journey as well. So I'm giving you an option for buying things that will help with each of those checks. A map will help you with cartography. Better horses will help you with the driving check, and better food and drink for the journey are going to help you with your willpower morale check, because you're just going to do better if you have something nice to eat at the end of the day. For the cartography, now I also want to point out, I mentioned this during our lead in at the last episode. Prices right now have gone up because of the trade routes being disrupted because of the blight. So there is a bit of things are getting more expensive in Val Royale. If you want yes.
I don't think we ever decided on how we were going to split up the money the Carta gave us.
Oh, that's a good point.
I have
Y'all
it
got-
down right now. I've got party funds.
I think we did the math. I don't think we said it. What
I
it
gave you
was.
the total amount. You ended up with $29.75. for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
what it was,
question was, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Do you want to just keep that in a pool, decide what of this you want to buy, and then split up the rest once you decide all the stuff that you want to buy?
That's what I was gonna ask. If we should just
Okay.
pull from
Yeah.
that and then we
Yeah.
can split up the rest.
Are we gonna get our 4,000? Can we factor that in, or do we have to go pick that up first?
Oh, that is a good point. You have been given 4,000 up front. You can
Oh,
factor that in.
Sweet.
So
So we're looking at 6,095.
975.
Yeah,
6,000.
6,975. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you're not going to find a detailed map that encompasses everything, but you could buy multiple maps for each of the legs of your journey. That will help. Each map is going to cost 50 silver pieces, and it will give you a +1 bonus to that leg of the journey.
So we need 6 separate maps.
Yeah. So that is one thing to say. One thing to give you. I will give y'all this first leg of the journey that you're taking. You have done this journey before. I'll say that y'all have a map for the first leg of the journey
Okay.
already.
Okay.
So
Yay.
I think we're good on that one.
5 of them. So
Yeah.
200.
20. Yeah, 250. Yeah, 250. For
Is it
for all
gonna
5 maps.
is it gonna give us the same bonus though? Because we
Yeah, it'll
tattooed
give
it
you a
on Garrus's
plus.
back.
Each one will give you a +1 bonus on the roll
You
that
jumped
you are making.
all over the joke Sita was making.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I said, is it gonna give us the same bonus because we tattooed it on Garrus's back?
Yes, yeah. Each of you will have to tattoo these maps on your back. So, I guess
I
you
mean,
can
I have
tattoo
a
on the
very
horses' backs
large
too.
back, so
You'll
I
probably
could
get
fit
2
two
on
that.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you can decide on that. The other thing is horses. You can buy better horses, better draft horses to take for the journey. These will give you a +2 bonus on your driving check. They will cost 400 silver pieces.
Is that for like a piece or per?
That's for two.
Or?
I was assuming for two for one. Okay, this is.
Do we just want one carriage? I kind of feel like we need two. 4 people and a bunch of kegs and other supplies.
If y'all wanted to
probably
bring,
need to.
if y'all wanted to have a second cart that you're taking, because I was sort of assuming you'd have one cart and like 2 people would probably be walking at any given time, while the others are on the cart. If you wanted to have extra, or would be riding aside in other horses, if you wanted to have a second cart, that might help you if other challenges come out to like split your cargo. There may be times where you're having to, like things that you would be worried about is, especially getting into winter, there are road patrols that may stop you and check your cargo for any like illicit goods.
That also means 2 of us are gonna have to be driving.
I'll still make it 1 driving check.
Okay.
I'm not going to make it 2 checks
Okay.
because I've already created the mechanic for that. I'm not going to redo it for 2 carts. Whoever's in the front cart will be making the check.
The moment has passed, but I do have to say it. To Vinter, tramp stamp. I'm done. Anyway.
Okay.
To Vincer, I
that's all.
barely know her.
So those will give you a +2 bonus on driving, and it will cost you, like I said, it'll be 400 silver pieces for 1 cart. It'll be 800 silver pieces if you're having 2 carts.
I think we should get 2. I mean, in addition, if like one of them breaks, we're not stuck hoofing it the rest of the way.
Yeah. We just need to be careful of how much we are spending. I don't know that we'll spend all the money he gave us. We want to make sure we're turning a really hefty profit, though.
Yeah. The last bit that helps with, so the maps and the horses, you can essentially get bonuses for your entire journey. There will be 1 leg of the journey where you won't have the advantage of the horses, which that'll be the part of the journey where you're on the water, but we'll get to that when we get to that. These will allow, the horses will help you for the first 4 legs of the journey. It just won't help you in the last 2. The last bits, the last part of the journey for your morale is food and drink. You are limited in how much you can take with you, be just based on the nature of traveling. Even with 2 carts, you're just not going to have a ton of space for good food and drink. I'm assuming basics. I don't want to track rations and say that y'all are and try to deal with like how much y'all are eating and all that over the course of a journey. I don't even know if this game has rules for that, and I don't care. The abstract way that I'm doing this is basic supplies that y'all will have to get you through the journey is no bonus. It's just, you'll just be making flat willpower morale checks. If you want fine food for the journey, that'll be 100 silver pieces. If you want exquisite food for the journey, the fine food will give you a +1 bonus. If you want exquisite food for the journey, just the best food you can find, that's 500 silver pieces for the journey. But you can only apply this bonus to 3 checks that you make throughout the entire journey. And y'all have to decide beforehand which ones you want to do it on. You can wait until the rolls come up, until that leg say like, I think this part of the journey is when we want to break out the nice shit. And you can decide that you want to apply it to that leg of the trip. But you're limited how many times you can do that. So costs, go back to the top. Maps. Do you want to get a map for each? But if you want everything, it's going to be 250 for the maps plus 800 for the horses. So that's 1,050 or no?
1050. Yeah.
1050. And then plus another 500, which would be 1550 if you want exquisite rations. So
That's not bad.
All in
with
all, it's
what we
really not
have right
bad.
now.
Yeah.
I
And we're
say
gonna
we
get 4,000 on the back end too.
on the tail end of this. Yeah.
So if you
That's
deduct
not
that from
bad.
what you get up front, that would mean that you are making at the beginning of your trip, would that be 2,500 or 2,450?
It's not bad.
Okay. So you can add 2,450 to the party funds. And I will mark off that y'all have the what y'all have. So y'all have 5 maps. Y'all have 2 carts with horses. And then y'all bought the exquisite food. And you have 3 checks for that. Okay. That's what y'all have. I'll get into the other details of the checks and what options that you have too. There is one other option that will come up that you can potentially use to modify to like succeed on a roll that you might have failed, but we'll get to that once we get started. So is there anything else anybody wants to buy for this trip? Weapons, armor.
I think
Equipment.
we should have some like basic healing stuff on hand.
I agree.
Sorry, my internet cut out. What did you say?
Healing stuff.
Oh yeah, some potions.
Something.
Okay. Let's look into that. We've never actually gone through just like buying potions.
I saw them once. They're in the magic items. There's like
Yeah.
a consumables section.
I'll go to that.
While you're looking that up, if you're all right with it, I'd like to just purchase a tailored leather duster as part of the.
You can do that.
traveling gear.
Any book prices are doubled, just FYI, based on what stuff right now. So if you want that, what would the cost be then?
So a regular leather duster is 15. Tailoring it adds 45, so that's 60. So it would be 120 silver,
Okay.
which I think I can. Yeah, I still have that in my personal funds.
I'm kind of rich right now, y'all. I have 789 gold, 89 silver pieces. So, Yaz
Yeah.
really has not been spending all that much in money. So,
So if you want some, let's see. Healing potions come in 2 types. There's lesser healing potions and then regular healing potions. I don't think there's a... Oh, no, there is a greater healing potion as well. Lesser healing potions are going to cost you 40 silver pieces apiece. Greater healing potions are going to be 150 apiece. Oh, I skipped regular. So it's either going to be 40, 80, or 150.
how much healing do they do?
The regular healing potions do, or sorry, the lesser ones do 2d6 plus your constitution.
Okay.
Regular healing potions are 46 plus constitution. Greater healing potions are 66 plus constitution. There's also lyrium potions, which would only be for Carter.
Yeah, I don't think I need healing potions because I can magic heal. I mean, I can magic heal you guys too, but it might be helpful if I get separated from you for you to have your own
Or
healing
if you
potions.
die.
Oh, there's
Kill
also-
you.
There's also
I-
potent healing potions. I forgot. I missed that too. Potent healing potions do 8d6 plus con.
Goodness.
That will cost you... Oh, I have to convert gold to silver. 420
Nice.
silver.
420 blaze it.
Nice. The prices for the lyrium potion are slightly higher. So lyrium is either going to be base level 60 or no. Oh no, wait. Are those less? Sorry, lesser lyrium potions. I think that's a spelling. It says CP instead of SP, but all the other prices are more, so I assume that's meant to be silver pieces, not copper pieces, because that's incredibly cheap for a lesser lyrium potion. So it's either going to be 60, 110, 200, or 300.
I've only got 100 and something left out of my personal stuff.
I mean,
But
we
I
can
would
use
like
party
to.
funds, and I'm also happy that again I have an ungodly amount of silver right now, so I can chip in too.
I think I've got a lot of mana that I could potentially regain. So you said it was the the $200 or $200, 200 silver
200
ones?
would be greater lyrium potions, which would give you why isn't it where there it is. It
Come on,
suddenly
Green
goes,
Ronin.
it goes out of alphabetical order at one point for no reason. It would be 3d6 plus magic in your regaining to your mana points.
2 of those, maybe?
So that
Sure.
would be 400 silver pieces.
I mean, if we're in a jam and you're completely out of mana and we need you, that's
400
not-
silver or 4 gold pieces.
Mm.
The conversion on that is wild.
Yeah.
But sure, yeah, you could pick those up.
I feel like a handful of that for Carter, who will presumably be healing most of us, and then also, a handful in case Carter is the one who is down and we need to heal him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. So you get 2 of those.
2 of the mana, and then what? 3 or 4 of the regulars?
Yeah, just as a backup.
Yeah.
Those were 80 silver pieces apiece. So how many do you all want?
And if we don't use them on this trip, I'm sure we'll use them.
You can hold on and then they don't go
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I think you guys should
If-
go
if
for
we
like
get
2
4
apiece. Like
8 of them?
8 of them, yeah.
8. Okay. plus
Because
your
you're right. If we
400.
don't end up using them now, it's not like they don't
That's
expire.
another 1040.
That is a lot.
That's a bunch. But it will work. It will.
Staying
benefit
alive's
us
pretty
in the
important.
end. Yeah.
It's a little
How
important,
about
yeah.
how about this? Can we take we'll
You don't
take
get paid if you
Carter's out
die.
of party funds, and then Yas can take the I'll take the healing potions out of her personals. That still
Okay.
leaves me with a lot of silver.
Okay.
Okay. You can do that. There's other temporary items that you could maybe also get, other potions in the book, if there are things that you wanted. If you wanted enchanted arrows, if you wanted, there's some
I
like
actually still have some.
paints of warding and stuff.
I still have not used the 30
any of those.
fucking special arrows that I
Yeah.
have from the
Yeah,
first
same.
heist.
I still have like 28 of
I don't throw
those.
enough combat at y'all. That's about to change. I want y'all to burn through some shit during this adventure.
I got 30.
I have 28. I have
Swift
28
arrows.
swift
Yeah.
arrows.
Okay. I think y'all are
That's
probably good
plenty,
then.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, long story short, in the party funds, we still have a solid. Let me get to my gold here. We have 2050 in silver in party funds still.
That is
That's good.
plenty enough to cover
That's good,
expenses along the way.
Yeah.
If anything else comes up. So awesome.
4,000 when we get back.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all spend a couple of days getting the next couple of days getting things ready. You get your payment from Valmont. You get your maps, your horses, your food and drink, everything ready for when the Skyburners arrive. We'll say I wanted, because I know we had 2 kind of scenes we wanted to do with, like, Garas wanted to talk to Amaris. No.
Lucia.
shit.
Lucia. Yeah.
Lucia. Jesus. I went through
Everyone
so many
has
names. in my
Amaris
head.
on the brain. It's okay. Mhm.
Sorry, I was in chat talking about how in this game my character likes Amara, and in Saturdays it's Amaris.
Like some, yeah, I went through Amara.
That was
Amaris,
not. That was not lost on me at all.
the next 2 days later, you wake up. I don't know who might be the first person to come out into the living room, into like the main area of the winery. Like early riser of the group, who thinks they might be up
Yes.
first. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yaz, you get up and come out into the main area of the water, and you hear some like conversation going on, and you come around the corner to see Jeremy, who's like still not Jeremy. What's his name?
Reggie?
Reggie. Jesus, I'm bad with names today.
Who are these
Reggie.
people?
I don't know. You see Reggie standing there, like very, very prim and proper. You hear some like very loud laughter going on in the main kind of seating area near some of the tables in your winery. You come around the corner and you see a small group of dwarves all sitting there eating, drinking, like is early in the morning, and you can already see like one carafe of wine is empty, and you see two familiar faces. You see one long red-haired, heavily tattooed dwarf. You see Bedell, who you met before, and you see one with short brown hair, even more tattooed, very like rugged looking. You see Hegna from before, and two of the Carta members you saved, along with some other dwarves you don't recognize. And Hegna looks up and says, "You all have a very nice place here. It's good to see you."
Good to see you too. Looks like I missed a party invitation.
Oh, we got started a bit early without you. It seems like you all tend to sleep in a bit. We've been up and at it for a bit now, and
It's 6 a.m.
We work on Orzammar time,
Right.
which you know is like it's the same time. As, you know, just-
Just
they all-
underground.
Yeah.
they all just laugh and say, "We have brought you some equipment needing transport. I believe this sort of concludes our part of the job here. But we parked it around back in case you want to hook anything over. But we figured we'd just enjoy ourselves here for a bit, take up maybe some of your swanky amenities, and partake of your fine ish wine."
If you'd left off the ish, I was going to tell Reggie to put it on the house, but for that,
Well,
you'll
it doesn't
defend
come.
some family prices.
You haven't been to Orzammar. You haven't tried some real good brews down there. It's your Orlesian wine is fine, but I would take me a dwarven stout any day of the week.
Reggie, please take very good care of them. I'll go check out the arrivals.
Reggie is just standing there. It's like, "Oh, if you insist." Like, still very much like very worn down.
Half
Clearly,
asleep. That's what we pay you for.
he wasn't expecting to be working this early in the morning with
At
such a ratty
6
group.
a.m.
One of them's like,
He
"I
can
think
have-
we're
he can
empty
leave
about
early
here.
today."
We could maybe use about 2 more and another round of mutton for the group." And Reggie says, "I'll get the kitchens on that right away."
They serve food?
Listen,
I
Reggie
suppose-
can go. Reggie can take off early today.
Yeah.
Reggie
Early in,
goes.
early out.
You go back into the back to check out the equipment has been brought out, and there is a cart back there with a big tarp over it. And you can pull back the tarp, and immediately you see kind of like a dull glow coming from underneath. And you see packed up into there are 15 of these like iron balls, essentially, each one about like 2 feet across, and from within like the scene, like the joints in these spheres, you can see a glow of lyrium just slightly kind of emanating through. The whole cart seems to be just kind of like humming a little bit.
Close the tarp. I think that's the next bit before we actually head out. Maybe we can work with our barrelers. What are those called? What do you call the people that make barrels?
Porter.
No.
I mean,
Cooper. There we go.
Cooper.
Barreler
Yeah.
is cool though.
I mean, barreler sounds great. Work with our wine coopers.
Yeah.
And come up with a situation of sort of encasing these spheres in wine
In barrels. That's easy enough. You have enough barrels on hand that y'all could they would fit each one within a barrel that you could then tack down. They're a bit heavier than a normal barrel of wine would be. These things are much denser, have a lot more weight to them than wine does by volume. And
They're stout.
but yeah, I mean, you're able to do that. I mean, you have your 2 carts available, so I'm assuming you are intermixing some of the barrels with the with actual barrels of wine that you have, all of them stamped with the Red Jenny Winery brand on the outside. But I was going to assume that you could probably fit the 15 kind of stacking and battening down on each. So we'll assume you have 15 barrels of explosives and 15 barrels of wine.
Love it.
Awesome. So I imagine Yaz fills everyone else in the group in on what's arrived. Everybody else can come out and see Hegna and Bedell, familiar faces again, along with the others that are traveling with them, other Carta members that are helping out with this, but who you haven't worked with previously. And they're just, I mean, like I mentioned, like 2 hours later, Garas gets up. They're still drinking and eating at the tables out there. They have almost like Reggie like kind of takes when he says they are about to clean out the kitchen. I don't know if we'll have enough rest left for the rest of the day.
We can close for for the rest of the day, so we can spend the rest of the day restocking.
Right. I will. I'll let the cooks know.
Take the afternoon off, Reggie.
Thank you. Reggie goes back to serving them wine. So so I assume you're getting things ready. You're about ready to leave on your journey. Garas, you are what is Garas doing to get ready around the winery right now?
What Garas does to get ready around the winery, he packs light, like they said, was suggested. And then after he packs, he then goes out back to do his daily training regimen, which is like a pretty heavy workout kind of thing, because he has a pretty beefy strength now and he needs it for these heavy blades. So he does a lot of calisthenics in the training area. Like he's doing push-ups, squats and everything. He's doing chin-ups.
He's getting hot and sweaty preparing for this scene. Is that what you're telling us? Or?
What? Nah, what? I want to know.
As you're finishing up your workout, and pretty well, having exhausted yourself, muscles aching from your workout for the day, as you're preparing to cool down and get ready to leave, there is the throat clears near the edge of the little training garden you have back here, and leaning up against a pillar with her arms crossed, you see Lucia, who, as you make eye contact, says, "Don't stop on my account. I assumed you were just getting started."
Oh no, I just I finished up. I had to get in the dailies in, so I don't go soft.
Was that really it? That's all you do for your workout? You have a long way to go.
Oh, I do many other things for my workout. I mean, normally I do a nice little 5x5, squat, pull row, bench or something like that. Or maybe, I try to do a nice, 45 minute calisthenic, and then maybe do 15 minutes of some running to get the heart rate up. Then I do, sword training after that. Keeps the muscle memory going.
Well, good for you.
What brings you here, Lucia?
She gives a slight smile as she's teasing you and says, well, I heard some news. I heard some dwarves out front and want to introduce myself, and I'm getting the impression that you're heading off on another job.
Yep, it's a pretty big job this time. We're going to be gone for a month.
Wow.
I was going to swing by later on afterwards to let you know.
To let me know that you're taking on another contract without telling me.
No, that I was going to be gone for a month is what I was going to tell you.
She steps forward. Her arms remain crossed as she moves up towards you, like maintaining like constant eye contact as she does. She says, "Do you remember what we agreed on when I joined this merry little band of thieves?"
That you were going to be taking on some jobs, yes?
I don't believe that was the exact terms of the agreement for me not turning you all in to the gods and taking a rather sizable, at this point, bounty for your operations. You agreed that I would be a equal partner in all of this.
That I did. Do you want to come on this mission? I'm going to be honest with you. It involves Valmont.
Marquis Valmont.
Yes. It is this cargo we're delivering to his relative. His name is Lambert, and
I'm familiar with Lambert Valmont, yes.
yes.
I was under the impression that you hated that man.
I do. I hate that man's guts. It took every fiber of my being not to stab him right there in the street when he gave us the job.
Wow. Imagining you exhibiting some amount of impulse control.
I even surprised myself.
So you're going to take his blood money and...
My father said in a very eloquent way that I may have a lot of anger towards this guy, towards Valmont. He ruined my family. But I shouldn't let my own vengeance get in the way of getting things done. Yes, we're taking a job from this bastard of an asshole. But doing this will greatly help the war front. That is something I can't turn away from. I'm actually going to be helping people. Yes, it's working with this asshole, but it will be for a good thing.
Well, it seems your father gives very good advice. Clearly the apple fell far from the tree. Is he single?
First of all, yes. Second of all, I am hurt. I'm not really hurt, though. He's what people will call a bit of a silver fox.
Maybe I'll give them out a visit while you're off and adventuring and leaving me here.
When she says that, he kind of like gets a little bit closer to her. Oh, really? Going to check in on him and make sure he's being well kept?
She doesn't even blink as you step closer, completely unreadable, and says, "Oh, yes, if he's that much of a silver fox, as you say, I fear that I would be missing out if I didn't visit him myself."
I think Carter steps out at this point in a pair of breeches with like a towel over his shoulder, like he's about to do his afternoon workout, and sees this and stops and turns around and goes back inside.
after she says that, he gets a little bit closer to her, like there's like an inch between them, and he kind of like speaks in a little bit of a softer tone. Well, I suppose you could go visit him and check in on him, or maybe you could, or you can fulfill the contract we signed. But of course, if you really want to check in on my papa, that is up to you. And he like takes his hand, and he doesn't take he takes the sword that is at his hip, and he like gently taps it against her sword.
What's Garrus's defense?
My defense is 15.
16. You feel poof as she just punches you right in the gut. Not like full force, not enough to do damage, but at least enough to take the wind out of you a little bit. As you like stagger forward, and she just sort of like, as I imagine Garrus, like you sort of double down a little bit. She just like taps you on the shoulder, and she turns and she says, "Oh, I already have a job. I'll be traveling with you to Cumberland. I've received a correspondence from Isaiah that she needs some help with the training of the guard there and the wardens that will be soon behind. So I'll be going with you on the first leg of your journey. But no, I won't be accompanying you the rest of the way."
You could have opened that with that, perhaps?
So much more fun this way. And she moves to the edge of the like training area back towards the doors, and she says, "But I suppose I do need to have my afternoon workout. So if you wish to join me for that, then you may follow."
I'd be honored. And he grabs like his towel, flings it over his shoulder, and follows her.
And she heads back to her quarters in the at the winery.
I'm gonna give her a workout.
I don't understand. What? Because there's not a lot of. You're talking like sit-ups. What is?
Yeah, yeah. She's a whole weight set. Yeah, you go to a room. She has a full weight set in her room.
Yeah, you just go back and do free weights.
That's all we do.
What did you? Oh, you are just nasty.
Get those gains.
Lovely. That is Lucia will be traveling with you all for the first leg of the journey. She's mostly just going to be there to go hitch a ride to Cumberland, because she's going to be working with Isaiah. So I guess one other thing, and then if there's anything else anyone wants to do, but then we can just get this party started. Yaz. What is Yaz doing in the final hours before you leave?
Checking, rechecking, triple checking that all of our supplies are ready to go. Probably like plays Tetris with everything to get it best suited in the carriages, and then completely redoes it. And then redoes it again. She's a little nervous. Yeah, a little nervous. So doing a little nervous repacking, I think.
You find as you're like packing and kind of going through your stuff, and you realize, no, I didn't fold that right. I'm gonna put it in the like trying to like Tetris everything into your bag. You go to one of your drawers and you open up your wardrobe to take out one of your coats, and as you pull it out of the wardrobe, there's a small piece of parchment flutters out.
Picks it up.
You pick it up. It seems to be encoded.
This is so ADHD. Like, oh, I'm gonna do my spring cleaning. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a note from 10 years ago. I'm gonna sit on my bed for an hour and a half and read it.
You want to try to decrypt it?
Yeah.
All right, go roll your cryptography.
Not bad. 17.
Okay. The small note, it's very short. You spend a few moments like getting decrypting it, like finding the pattern. You finally like decrypt the small cipher there. And it's pretty easy, and like as you're going through, you're like, this is too easy. As you finally decipher, it's like something like a kid would write for their to like a sibling or something, and as you decrypt it, it says visit the barn before you go.
Grabs her crossbow and goes to the bar.
Ambush, roll initiative. Yeah, you head across the vineyard to the barn that you all have for mostly like storing some of the like farm equipment and other basics of for the winery, kind of away from the main vineyard. And as you walk along this like iced over pathway, most of the vineyard being pretty bleak in the winter, a little bit of snow still clinging to the trellises, and you head to the barn. As you're approaching the barn, you just hear this like you hear a noise like like this like thudding every couple of seconds.
Just peeks in.
Yeah, you see, as you peek in, you see Wolf currently standing towards the like kind of close to the entrance of the barn that you're peeking into, and is like sort of adjusting or looking over a few like small like throwing daggers on a table, kind of feeling the weight of one and then throwing it across the barn at a small target along the back wall.
So, this is it, huh? You've finally come to kill me?
Without turning, you just like throws another dagger and says, "Oh, no, I poisoned your wine this morning. You'll only have a few hours left, I suppose, but the deed's already been done."
Well, I mean, if it's that cut and dry, I just might as well enjoy my last few hours.
Suppose so. Throws another dagger, which sinks into the target again, before turning to you with a wry smile and says, "So off again on another adventure."
Indeed.
Well, I'll try my best to stay occupied while you are away. I've much work to do in defending our homestead here from marauders and the like.
You can just say that you'll miss me.
Miss you. Kind of rolls their eyes, then smiles and says, "Maybe a little."
That speaks volumes.
I'll at least miss seeing the look on your face when you're trying to learn something or deciphering a difficult code. I hope that didn't take you too long.
Grabs her own dagger without looking, just tosses it at the target.
Roll for me. Roll an attack for me. I just want
Okay.
to see
Of course.
how cool it is.
It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. 4 9 just another 17.
Nice. You
17s. One
oh
more
my God.
and I'm dead.
One more and you die. You hurl it across the room without looking, and you hear kind of of like metal against metal as it sticks into the target, almost exactly where the other dagger was. Kind of the blades grinding against each other. And Wolf lets out a low whistle and says, "Getting better at that too. Hitting the mark, I suppose."
Metaphor if I ever saw one.
I have something for you before you leave.
Besides my imminent death?
Oh, that's coming, rest assured. moves over to the table, and there's a small bag there. Picks a book out of the bag, or at least more of a journal. Like there's no markings on the tome or anything. Walks over, hands it to you. For your enjoyment.
Opens it.
You open it, and it is pages and pages of very dense code and encrypted letters, and it's just, I mean, it's gibberish. And as you're looking over, you realize like, oh shit, this is a really difficult cipher here. As it like even more difficult than the first one you did with Wolf.
You're giving me homework.
You could say that. I promise it'll be worth your while. Don't expect to
At
solve
that
it all.
note,
sorry.
on the note of it'll be worth your while, Carter looking for a place to work out. Walks into the barn.
Poor
with a towel
Carter.
over his shoulder.
I
Stop.
just want to work out, guys.
Work out again. Yeah.
For the winter holiday, I'm getting Carter his own weight set
Yeah,
that he can just have in his room.
his own home weight set. So yes, Carter goes walking quietly, unbeknownst to the rest of the group. But don't expect to solve it as easily. The cipher changes every few pages, so you'll have to start over. Should keep you busy for a while.
Thank you for the distraction, I suppose.
Wolf kind of steps forward, again, looking up at you to make eye contact. A little bit being shorter and more slender than you are. Moves in and says, "Oh, I can promise to be very distracting."
I don't know. You could give it a run for its money, that's for sure.
Wolf sort of just shrugs and says, "You'll have to let me know when you return. In one piece, I hope."
That is the plan. Yeah, she'll lean down, give him a kiss.
You do. And the two of you kiss for a while as you say your goodbyes. And you have a homework to work on during your trip.
Hee 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 hee.
So yeah, that is we can probably we can probably tack on one cryptography check to the legs of your trip if you want to take some time to decipher
Definitely.
it. Yeah, so anything else anyone wants to do before you leave?
I have to tell Amara I'm leaving. I imagine Venehn as also goes to talk to Lady Richelieu and is like, hey, I have this thing I gotta take care of, so I'm gonna be gone for a couple of months. But her reaction's not the one I'm interested in.
Yeah, well, let's say maybe you go and
But that's why he would be there.
and you you head into the house, and Lady Richelieu is currently maybe entertaining some guests out on the well, it probably wouldn't be on the veranda, probably in one of the sitting rooms inside the manor.
Imagining some big glass windows so they could see outside. But
Yeah, somewhere warm. And Amara, as one of the guards is let you in. Then Amara comes around the corner and says, "She's a little busy right now. Is you need me to pass something along to her?"
yeah, if you don't mind. I'm sure she won't care. But I'm leaving town for a bit.
Oh, all right. How long will you be gone for?
Oh, 3 months.
Wow, it's quite a journey.
If you could just tell her there's some personal business has come up. Don't really want to get into the details.
I'll let you know you're indisposed, and we'll give a report when you get back. Do you want to give me any of the details?
Not here.
Come on. Heads off to one of the more like near the servants' quarters of the house.
It stays between us, right?
Yes.
Promise? Because I know where you sleep.
Yes, and I will keep this between us.
Marquis Valmont is having things shipped to the warfront.
To Hossberg?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Apparently, there are going to be Grey Wardens garrisoning there and all sorts of business. And, well, the nasty beasts, they're not as active in the winter, so they want to get their weapons there before spring.
I
And
don't
he
envy you tangling with Darkspawn.
To us. Specifically, Azura's my name.
Wow. You certainly are getting popular, I guess.
I mean, I've always been popular, personally. But, it's nice to spread it around a little bit, you know. So yeah, 3 months there and back.
That's quite a journey. I guess be careful, Darkspawn. Well, I don't intend on ever fighting any if I don't have to.
Well, hopefully this will make a dent in that so you don't have to.
Perfect. Go ahead and end the blight while you're there. And
Oh, you know, just slay an archdemon with my cursed Grey Warden-ness. I don't actually really know how it works.
I can't say I do either. Well, it's exciting.
Yeah. It's going to be really awkward, I think.
Why?
Hossberg?
Oh. Wait.
Lambert is sort of heading up the operation.
So you're going to see... Well, that will be interesting. Now I wish I could come along.
Oh, no, you don't.
For that,
It'll be
at
nothing.
least.
He won't even remember what I look like.
I'm more interested in seeing your reaction, how you handled the situation.
What?
Well, you being all
Master of
flustered.
interpersonal communication.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, certainly. I've seen that firsthand.
Just because my charms don't work on a blockhead like you doesn't mean they don't work on everyone else, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope you don't have a type.
No, he's not as mean as you. Doesn't have as many scowl lines.
Well, I'll just have to imagine it then, you standing on the parapets, yearning after your lover from a distance, watching as he runs into battle, sword gleaming.
Oh, so the lover at the distance is not you?
No, that I'll be watching from nearby, in rapt attention and laughing uproariously.
I figured you'd say something like that.
Well, clearly you are very well skilled at all of this, if you can read me so well.
I think I can.
Hmm.
Eventually you're gonna have to stop masking everything you feel with humor, but...
No, I don't think I need to.
that's what they said about me.
Well, I'll stop when you do.
spent a lot of time together over the last few months, so your presence will be missed. You know, I don't like changes in my routine. It gets me really stressed out.
You almost had me there for a bit. Well, I can't say that I won't miss your irritating presence around here as well.
Still growing on you?
Still.
I was a late bloomer, so still getting taller every day.
Mm-hmm. Like a weed.
Mm.
So at least you've, I suppose, graduated from parasitic mold.
I'll take it.
She leans in and like grabs your chin and gives you a kiss. And sort of pushes you back away and says, "Don't let any of those darkspawn kill you. That's my job."
I'll do my best.
I should get back to my post.
Boring.
That I am.
A lot of other things too.
Tell your love that I said hello.
Oh, let's not. Come on.
She turns.
Jealousy
and
doesn't befit you.
She just says from her shoulder, she's like, "Oh, I can make anything befit me."
Behind them, Carter had just
Walks
walked
in with
up
a
to
towel.
see.
Just looking for anywhere to work out.
Carter just shows up at the party,
Somehow the reason
towel
was
over his
saved.
shoulder.
You look out the
Don't know how I
street and
got
you see
here.
Carter walking down the streets of Val Royale looking for a place to work out. So, with all of that being said, unless Carter, is there anything you wanted to do?
I
before?
do.
Work out, obviously.
Yeah.
We go through the
that
side
too.
mission of Carter signing a gym contract.
No,
they're so
I feel really
predatory.
bad. We've all, but I especially, we've kind of forgotten about Ty Baby.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he and Carter are friends, and we're about to be gone for months and travel through to Venter on our path.
Uh-huh.
So, we get maybe after we get back from break,
We can go knock.
knock.
I'd rather go ahead and knock that out now. Have a clean
Okay.
cut, then start off when we get back.
Yeah. So I guess Ty gets a knock on his door.
Okay. Yeah. Ty's, well, we'll say he's in his room. He opens, dressed. There's some books laid out on a desk in the corner of the room, out looking out a window over the vineyard. And he is looks a bit sleepy, but otherwise doing okay. And says, "Oh God, it's been so long since we've done him. I don't remember his voice." He says, "Carter, it's good to see you. Is everything all right? I assumed you all had left already."
It is soon. However, may I come in?
Oh, sure, yeah, come on in. Steps back, lets you enter the room.
Carter comes in and sits down at the foot of Ty's bed, and he says, "I must apologize.
Oh, for what?
I have been consumed with my own worries and concerns, and have been remiss in our friendship."
Oh. I'm more than happy to share a drink whenever you're through and not dealing with one job or another. I honestly been enjoying a quiet life here. I'm no apology needed, though appreciated.
Very well. What have you heard of our trip?
I've picked up a bit here and there. It seems that you're heading up to Hossberg to help in the war effort.
That is one viewpoint.
I suppose you'll be traveling through my neck of the woods then.
Yes. How does that make you feel, Ty?
Happy that you haven't invited me to come along. And a bit worried for the four of you. Deventer is a much different place than the rest of Thedas. It's very different. And, well, you have a skilled and eclectic group, and I worry about you all getting into trouble with the Magisters. So keep a low profile when you're heading through.
To that point, it has occurred to me that it may be easier for me to not appear as a mage through most of this journey. I was wondering if you would reconsider taking the staff. I have renamed it, if that would make a difference to you.
Well, you have my curiosity. I'll at least ask what you renamed it to.
Each of us, you included, found each other damaged and afraid. And it was through each other that we have found some measure of contentment, I suppose. It is through our compassion. And he holds the staff out towards him.
He takes the staff, holds it, and looks it over. Says, "I like that name a lot better. I'll give you that." I would be very worried about letting all of you head off on this adventure, this journey without every benefit you could. I'm more than happy to hold on to it for you, Carter, but you might find that you might need it. Are you sure you want to leave it here?
I have considered the risks. However, you are not the only one who worries. And I am concerned for you, and for Reginald, and for the people here. While we are gone, the Villa of Red Jenny will need its own strength to defend it. We need you, Ty.
Well, I find myself very touched by that sentiment. Yes, I'll keep it here, and I hope that we won't have a cause to use it while you're all away. I hope that the war won't make it this far, but should the worst happen, I'll do my best.
Let us hope it does not come to that. And then he'll stand up and almost start to turn towards the door, but then turn back, and his arms just kind of like awkwardly lift up in an invitation for a hug.
Ty's been around you long enough to understand the significance of his coming. He says, "Of course," and comes in, gives you a hug, claps you on the shoulder, and says, "Just be safe." And it might not be such a bad idea if you get into trouble in Rathus to throw some weight around, magically speaking, if needed. But might be a good idea to try for a low profile, try to fit in with the Soparati while you're heading through.
If I must, I am confident I could acquire another staff.
I'm sure you could. But like I said, be safe.
There is one more thing before I go.
Of course.
While we are gone, I have a request of you. I would do it myself, but I have been occupied.
All right.
Learn all that you can about red lyrium.
Red lyrium. Okay. I'll look into it. Is there a reason?
Perhaps. Hopefully, it is not important.
I'll see what I can find. Head over to the university when I can and pull some books there.
Thank you.
Of course. Safe travels, my friend.
Thank you.
And Carter leaves. The rest of you, having said your goodbyes, load your supplies into the 2 wagons. Horses hitched to the front. Each of you driving or riding along in turn, with one horse walking beside you. Lucia, proudly atop of it, takes a look to Garas, who I assume is sitting in one of the wagons, and says, "You're not going to try to get an extra workout running alongside. It's fine. Do whatever you need to do. Just try to keep up."
Oh, I will do that later. Don't worry. Gosh.
And she spurs the horse forward. The wagon's taking off as well as you begin your journey to Hossberg. And that's where we're going to take our break. So thanks everyone for sticking with us, hanging out. We'll be back in a few minutes to continue our session. So go refresh yourselves, get some water, stretch, whatever you need to do. And we'll be back here in a few minutes to continue. So stay tuned.
Gotta cross the bear.
Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. Totally out of context JoJo references. Let's get back to it. So y'all have loaded up into your carts and are beginning the first leg of your journey, which means I get to introduce in full the travel mechanics that we're going to be doing. So we're going to go ahead and have y'all make your check for the first leg of this journey, or your checks. So as a reminder, I need 3 people to be making checks. So 1 lucky person gets to sit out. You guys get to decide who that is. I need a cartography cunning check, a driving strength check, and a morale willpower check. The difficulty, the target number for these is 15. However, we need total successes over that target difficulty of 12 in order to make this work. So you've got to get over 15. Hopefully the ideal is that you all get at least 4 over, getting a 19. But somebody gets super high and it'll work out. So
Can
it
you
can work out that way.
to me again? Because it just slid off my brain.
Sure. So target number for each of these checks is 15.
Got that part.
You need total combined successes of 12 in order to hit this. So for each point that you go over 15, that's the number of successes you're gaining on that check.
Okay, so just each point over.
Yeah, each point over.
And we need 12 total
need
for
12
the check?
to
this
succeed
check?
on the check for the journey, for this leg. Yes.
For all 3.
Yeah. And it's combined. Before you roll, you have a couple of things. So whoever's making the cunning cartography check
That's
gets a
yes.
+1
Yes.
bonus for the map that you all
Plus
have.
one?
For whoever's making the strength driving check gets a +2 bonus for the
cool.
horses.
Cool.
And then y'all have to decide beforehand, before anybody rolls, if you're going to be using your better provisions for this leg of the journey to gain that +2 bonus for that. You get to use that
Carter-
3 times.
Carter, my boy, where are we at on willpower?
I think we talked about this last time.
I
I'm
know, I
pretty
don't
sure
remember.
that each of you have a higher modifier in all three of those than Carter does, but Carter is also pretty good at least. I mean, his strength isn't that great, but willpower and cunning are both good. Could I, since I'm probably the odd man out on all those checks, choose one person to help?
I'm trying to decide, because the way that I wrote all this and balanced it out was to make this so that y'all could like switch, I guess, because that would essentially function as one person gets a +1 bonus on every check. I'll allow it. Y'all have to decide beforehand who that bonus is going to.
Yeah, that tracks.
So I will allow that. I'll add one other wrinkle to all of this too. There is a mechanic that I am including in this that will allow you to re-roll and take the higher of your two rolls if you want to. Essentially, you end up if you roll a failed check or if you roll a check and you decide you need to push for more, you can attempt to re-roll. However, you have to essentially you're like pushing your travel more like you're kind of powering through the pain, and that will cause the sky burners to take damage from the journey. The sky burners will take each of the sky burners will take 2d6 damage. They have a total of 30 hit points, and if at any point during the journey they hit 0, they go boom.
Butterflies?
Yeah, butterflies. Y'all will get to go to your maker where all the butterflies are. So
you said 2d6 damage?
2d6.
That's
there are a total of each of the, and that goes to all the sky burners. They all have 30 hit points to start out with, so you're safe to do that at least once. There may also be challenges and things that come up during the journey that may also
for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh.
So the because essentially the rocking and rolling of the wagons and stuff, as you're like pushing yourselves, maybe you get caught in a ditch or something, causes them to be jostled around and take some damage. But yeah, if and there may be other times throughout the journey where the skyburners may be in peril. So something to keep in mind. But that is sort of a life or death option if y'all we really needed to succeed on this leg of the journey. So
you really got to stop saying rocking and rolling, because
I'm sorry. I got it stuck in my head now, so I'm going to keep saying it. It's
hard to hear what you're saying with the music playing in my brain.
So that is also one option, kind of worst case scenario option.
I understand. Thank you.
First question for y'all is, are you using the provisions?
We're so early in the trip.
Yeah, I want to hold off on that because essentially, and again, y'all have to succeed on 4 legs of the journey out of 6 of them.
The willpower check is willpower,
morale.
Okay.
Yeah,
that puts me at a cool +3.
And who is the +1 bonus from Carter going to?
On that note, what you were gonna say? Something, Sid?
Oh, I was going to say, I effectively, with the map, have a +6 to this roll, so...
Yeah, I say we give it to Venn.
Yeah.
Because Venn is not getting any plus right now.
I think because several sessions ago we talked about Carter has started drawing. So I think one of the very few things that he did pack, other than necessities, was some charcoal and a bunch of parchment. And I think throughout the journey he is drawing. And he has been... Like the first time he started drawing was on the date with Venehn, which was like a year ago or something.
Yeah,
6 months ago at least. So
Yeah.
I think he's probably gotten better. He's still at like rough sketch stage, but like the perspective is finally starting to sink in. His angles are getting good. His details are starting to get a lot better. So I think that's how I help with the morale for the group in general, is providing art of the landscape and quiet moments, like when he's sitting next to somebody who's driving the cart, he's drawing them. So throughout the travel, this leg of it at least, he's providing little pictures of people.
Carter, I have an idea.
Yes.
Okay, I will share one of the scenes that I'm writing in my book, and then you can draw it.
Of course, it would be an honor.
This will be
Garas
fun.
yelled-
Do you
Okay.
become
Garas
This will be
yells
fun.
from
This will be fun.
noble, or-
Garas yells from the front, "You're actually writing?"
I told you I had some stuff written down. Okay.
All right.
That's how we keep up morale.
So
Sweet.
Ven is making the morale check.
Yeah.
Who's making the driving?
I'm making driving.
Okay, and then Yaz is making the cartography. All right, everybody roll.
Enjoy the clicky clacky sounds. Oh, I rolled like fucking fire, dude.
I rolled like a baller.
I rolled a 4, 5, 6. Carter, you inspire me.
Oh.
That's really good. All right, so what are the? Let's start with the cartography check. What was your result, Sid?
Is actually only. Wait, that's 12. That's only an 18. So I only
Okay.
got 3 over.
So we got 3 points from Yaz. Ven, what did you get? No, sorry. Garrus, what'd you get for driving?
So I got a 15 on the dice. My
Okay.
strength is 3 plus the +2 from the horses. That's a 20.
Okay, so 20. So you exceeded by 5. So that puts y'all 8 over.
With Carter's help, I got a 19.
Okay, which is +4.
4
So that
over.
puts y'all at 12. So that makes it a success. So I'll mark down that y'all succeeded on the first leg of your journey. And that was without using any of the provisions. So good
That
job
Carter
there.
point was everything.
That did end
That was
up.
everything.
How?
All right, I'm
Thanks,
gonna
Val.
add to my rules here so I don't forget for the next few sessions. That +1 bonus to from whoever's not making a roll.
You knew we were gonna ask if we could help.
No, that's fair. Again, I'm trying to keep
That's all
the
we ever ask. Can I help?
I'm trying to keep the
Can I
modifiers
help?
tight to give it a lot of tension. So I think
Well, I would say that is still the case.
yeah,
Yeah.
y'all did really good.
With
Uh,
the dice curve of this game, too, +1 seems very reasonable.
Yeah. You begin your journey, a familiar road from Valroyo to Cumberland, falling along the Imperial Highway. This section of the road is very well maintained as it's consistently traveled by many of the traders and the merchants coming through from up north from Navarra, or even beyond that, or over in the free marches back to Valrio, being sort of a central trade hub for this region of Thedas. You find yourself staying in good spirits during this portion of the journey.
So I'm thinking we open in media res. That's not a term that exists yet, right?
Well, I think Garrett's already said
That's-
media res too.
That in media res, that's Dalish for in the
That's where
middle
Garrett's
of,
learned it from.
in the middle of scene. We're big storytellers. So I'm thinking we open and media res, and there's the guard captain. I don't really know a lot about him yet, but I know he's brooding. And we'll put him in the bar, and he's had like a really sort of rough go of it, and he's questioning sort of, like, do I still want to do this job even though I love this job and I love my king and my country? And maybe he talks about it with the bartender and we go from there.
Do you think he has perhaps a mustache or a bit of a mohawk?
Yeah, I like it. You know, you
Just
take some
starts drawing
artistic
Eckert.
liberties.
Just starts drawing Eckert.
We're just gonna write this book about Deckard.
Yeah.
The guard
Wait,
captain.
this book might exist already.
Not yet.
Each
So,
leg
yeah.
I am gonna
Maybe
pitch a little
in
bit
the
of this
Dales
book.
it does. Okay.
Uh,
Get
Good
ready.
Code for where Venehn gets all of his fourth wall breaking.
Look, the Fate is a magical place,
It's
alright?
amazing what you can do when you have more than one god, I'm telling you. It was a mistake to try to stamp that shit out. The Chantry, get it together, okay? I can say that now because we're out here in the wilderness. They won't strike me down.
Yeah,
Y'all
but
have
they'll probably send bears against you.
Oh, you think...
Mhm.
Do the Chantry think bears are their ally?
That's just
Because
true.
I
The
was
bears are no
born
one's ally.
with the bears.
Bears.
Not
They're
by
so,
them.
they're so scary though. Ugh.
You just have to know how to talk to them.
You talk to bears.
Sure. That's how I got this.
What do you say to them?
Oh, lots of things. It's really more about tone and presence than it is the words.
I see.
Did you become friends with one of the bears?
Maybe.
What was the bear's name?
Lydia.
Damn. He focuses back on driving.
Yeah, you'll have these pleasant conversations between in the stops during your travel. A couple times stopping at like roadside inns, maybe to have like a nice bed and hearth while you can. Other times having to camp along the countryside, a winter wind carrying from the waking sea up north towards across the plains here, and all of you huddled around like a campfire, talking and sharing food.
I do want to say, just for flavor, that like despite all of his facade and stuff, Venehn does walk a lot of the trip. Hops in the wagon and so it's just always like in and out.
Yeah.
Doesn't sit still much, does a lot of walking.
Yeah, but the journey goes pretty uneventfully. You do see there are a fair number of you pass like garrisons of the Orlesian military that are heading back and forth along the road. Sometimes passing you as you're making camp, heading north towards Navarra. Other times returning maybe from the war front, looking a little bit haggard and beleaguered as they do back towards Valrayo. There are other like merchant caravans that you had, but overall like the personal or like commerce travel along the Imperial Highway seems to be a bit sparse as you're going, probably from what you are used to during any of your other travels that you've taken personally or as a group. But within a few days, you arrive at the familiar mountain ranges of the Vimark Mountains to the east, where Cumberland sits at the shores of the Waking Sea, the northern shores, and you can see the familiar sights of the city that you have that you were at not more than half a year ago, and may still be wanted in some small circles. But as you're arriving, Lucia traveling along with you, keeping in good spirits as well. As you arrive near Cumberland, though, there is there's a couple of changes that you do notice. You can see the parapets of Chateau Hein up in the kind of wedged into the mountains. Just based on familiarity, you know where to look. But you see not only there's some banners, like some blue banners fluttering in the breeze off of the parapets. But you also see that there is a rather large contingent of like wagons and like siege equipment and other like military sort of occupation that you can see in the city of Cumberland, and some outposts or fortifications that they've constructed around the outskirts of the city. And you can see the silver griffin of the wardens hanging, the pennants fluttering over these barricades. As you can see, a pretty solid garrison of Grey Wardens have taken up arms in the city and seem to be serving as kind of mixed in with the regular guard as well, but they are helping to protect the city. And as you're approaching, I assume maybe not going straight into Cumberland. Again, not really sure. You don't really need to go in for your travels, and but as you're sort of passing along the fork in the road, looking down from these cliff tops that you can see Cumberland from, you hear the sounds of a as a horse approaches from the sort of trotting or on a half gallop up the Imperial Highway in the opposite direction towards you. And at first, maybe you grow a bit nervous, worrying that you may be running into some trouble along the way, until you recognize the figure that is mounted on this horse. You see Isaiah, her hair billowing behind her and wearing her Grey Warden. For the first time, I think that you've seen her wearing her Grey Warden armor. As she's approaching, and she slows down to a trot as she reaches your little caravan here, sort of leaning back on the reins and smiling down at all of you and says, "Well, some ruffians, I suppose, up to no good. I suppose I'll have to check your cargo and make sure you're not carrying anything illicit."
My lady, you wound us.
After all we've been through.
I am hurt. I am offended. My reputation will never recover from this.
I can't believe we even sent you cards during the winter seasons.
You're off the card list.
Off of it.
Well, I suppose if that's the cost of me upholding my charge as protector of these lands, then so be it.
It's a price you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
She smiles and she dismounts from the horse. She says, "Hello, Venehn. Garas, yes, Carter. It's good to see you all again. It's been a long time."
Too long.
You bring, I imagine, your horses to a stop as well, and she approaches and says, "I received notice that you'd be passing through. I've been keeping an eye on the roads, and I thought I spotted your ill intent from some distance."
Yas puts on a hat.
Probably for the best. I suppose you'll be passing through rather quickly. I've taken up at your urging. I've been assisting Lord Montfort, who was rather wounded by your quick departure.
Tell him we hope we never see him again.
I won't, but yes, I understand the sentiment. Things seem to be going much better there now, and I've been helping training his guard in how to not let that happen again. So make sure you don't get you find yourselves in the same situation.
No promises can be made.
Carter approaches at this point with a sort of concerned look on his face, and he says, "I can assure you there is no need to search our carriage, as we are doing nothing illegal in this particular."
He practiced that. He's so good at it. He's been practicing.
You were joking.
She smiles and sort of pats you on the shoulder, Carter, and says, "Good to stay in character, at least for the rest of your journey. You'll find that any other patrols you meet along the road probably won't be as amenable to your charms as I've been.
Or as pretty, honestly.
Flattery will get you everywhere. So, I suppose I'll be relieving you of your escort," and looks over to Lucia, who's still mounted on her horse, is kind of like trotted over, is leaning forward and gives a smile and a nod towards Isaiah. Isaiah turns back to all of you and says, "Is there anything else I can help you with while you're passing through my territory?"
If I may have a moment to speak with your escort, the escort that you assigned us.
Looks to you, Garas, and then looks back to Lucia, who just smiles and gives like a half-hard shrug and says, They'll be lost without me, I suppose. One moment.
Don't get
And,
attached to her. She's prickly.
But that's the best part.
Isaiah laughs and says, "Oh, we've come very well acquainted with each other and have shared in some of our mutual distrust of you lot." Lucia will go over to speak with you, Garas.
Garrus sits he's still on the cart. He turns, so he's still so he's now eye level with her since he's on the horse. Well, I suppose this is where we part ways.
I suppose so.
Now, you work those soldiers very hard, all right?
Are you giving me a command?
I would never do that to you.
She stares at you for a long moment.
Good.
I'm saying is, I will miss you.
Well, I suppose then you'll just have to hurry back.
I guess I will. And don't worry, I won't fight any other swords people while you're gone.
Right. If they draw their blades on you, I promise I won't grow jealous.
I know you won't. And he'll take her hand and kiss that armored glove of hers.
She allows it.
And he turns back around.
She kind of begins to turn around and addresses the other three of you and says, "Don't let him do anything stupid."
Yaz will take her horse over to to Lucia and whisper something in her ear. I've messaged it to you in the chat.
Oh.
He's impossible to stop.
You whisper and to Isaiah or to
Sorry, no, I wrote it wrong. To Lucia.
To Lucia, okay. She sort of laughs and she gives a nod, and she sort of circles back around. She says, "I mean it. Please, all of you, be safe. I've sort of put all of my eggs in this basket, and I really don't want to have to run the vineyard on my own." She comes back around in a pass, coming back to you, Garas, and she kind of leans closer into you, reaching up one of her gauntleted hands towards placing on the side of your face, and she says, "And I suppose something to remember me by." And then she just slaps the side of your face.
He rubs
Yes, grins.
he rubs where he was smacked, and he laughs. And is like, "I will keep that close to the heart."
She trots around you, Yaz giving a little wink over to you, and then rides around behind Isaiah, and she says, "I really can't stand any more of these goodbyes. I'll meet you over near the fort." And Isaiah gives a nod as Lucia spurs her horse onwards down the cliffside, and Isaiah looks back out and says, "It's always fun being around all of you."
If I, Lady Miss Isaiah, may have a moment of your time, there is something of a serious matter I wish to discuss.
Oh, of course, Carter, please.
I think he would maybe hold a hand up for her to dismount.
Oh, she already dismounted.
Oh, she just okay. Then he would hop into the back of one of the carriages and.
Yeah, I mean, you also have a cliff side here you can walk over away from the group if you want to have a private conversation.
No, it's not even like that. It's just maybe not visible to the outside world.
Sure, yeah, you'll walk around out of sight from the others.
What do you know of red lyrium?
Sort of blanches at that and says, "Nothing personally, no personal experiences, thankfully, but I'm familiar with the stories, some There have been some reports I've read in some old documents of such a substance discovered in the roots of the Deep Road by wardens long ago. Rather strange and dangerous substance.
That is what I understand as well. So, I believe you will understand my confusion at having pulls the amulet out of his pouch and says, having found this on the buried body of a disgraced Templar. And he opens it up and presents it to her.
She sort of recoils a bit as she sees it. Like just being in the vicinity of it makes her uncomfortable as you open it for a moment and then close it again. She says, I don't really know even what to say on a Templar.
On Eckert.
Oh no, Carter, I'm sorry. I don't understand exactly what this means, but I cannot believe that the Templars would knowingly use or keep such a substance nearby, or even how they had access to it in the first place. Nobody has seen red lyrium this close to on the surface. It's only something that's ever been sighted in the deep roads.
While I am unsure how the Templars operate in Antiva, I can assure you it comes as little surprise to me that they of Val Royeaux would dabble in such a thing. However, it does confound me why they would put it on the body of one they so disgraced. I have a request of you. While we are gone, please investigate this. It is fortuitous that Lucia is to be with you during this time. Perhaps her knowledge from the inside may come as some help. But when I return, it will be a matter of great import to me to resolve this issue.
I will do everything in my power to find out the cause and the source of this. And I promise you'll be the first I talk to once I learn, or once I have an answer.
Would it help to keep it with you?
She looks down at it, like, uncomfortably, and then looks back up at you. She says, perhaps for study, I do not relish the idea of having something such as this close by, but I would also be remiss if I did not say I was concerned of you carrying this on your person during your journey.
It would be a matter of some risk, taking it through lands such as Teventer.
I will hold it here in safekeeping if you trust me to do so.
I do trust you.
Then I shall, and I will keep a healthy distance from it. I may have just the place to keep it. I have secured the trust of Lord Montfort in keeping some personal and valuable items within the vaults beneath Chateau Hein, and I can keep it there for safekeeping and study. We have fortunately changed the security measures around the vault since your last visit, so I feel that it will be very safe there.
I think that is a wise move. It was very easy for us to escape.
I will not pass that along either. I merely wish to ask as a precaution, is there anyone else that you're concerned that has this knowledge or knows that such a threat exists besides your confidants here?
Only my 3 friends and a Teventer ex-slave blood mage that runs our villa. His name is Tybalt.
Oh, right. Right. Okay. As long as there's nobody
She
else.
rolled with the punches on that one.
There took a second, but she has met Ty at this point. I think there was a moment you're like describing it. And she's like, "What?" And then you say, "Oh, right."
There was this like hitch in your voice where I really thought Asaya was going to say, "Oh, Ty Ty baby."
Oh, Ty, baby. Yes, of course. No. She's very serious. She says, "Yes. I'll look into this, and if I find myself in Valrio, I will convene with Tybalt to see if we can put our minds to it and understand the nature of this substance and why the Templars would be dabbling with it. All right. I'll have answers of some sort upon your return."
I think just as awkwardly as he was with Ty, Carter kind of jerkily reaches his hands out and then just last minute grabs her hand, like fingers on palm kind of grab, and he just says, "Thank you, Lady Sarah. You have been a true friend since the moment I met you."
As have all of you, under whatever strange circumstances this has all come about. And I need you to know as well, I have been looking into that matter that we discussed, and I haven't had any significant developments since, but I will continue to devote some of my attention to that as well.
I will be forever in your debt.
She kind of grabs your arm warmly to like steady you, and then understanding like the limited impact that might have for Carter, but wanting to provide you with some amount of support. The two of you head back around. She takes the amulet and she tucks it away securely in her bag. I mean, she is like touching it as little as possible, like holding it by the chain. Like that's probably not going to have much of an impact at like this distance, but she's still like super skeeved out by all of this. And she tucks it away, and then as she's coming back around and addressing everybody once more, she says, "Well, I suppose I'll be off. It was a pleasure to see all of you again, and best of luck on your journey, and when you arrive at your destination safely, make sure you give my brother hell for you needing to save his ass."
Gotta hell.
Carter thinks about the dream he had recently, but doesn't say anything.
She smiles at your joke, Venehn, and she says, "But hopefully the entire fortress hasn't been overrun by darkspawn upon your return, so I guess travel safe and travel quickly. Oh, and if you could," and she reaches into her bag and pulls out a sealed letter, and she says, "If you could provide this to Garahel when you arrive, you'll be wanting an update on current status of things here at Cumberland." She hands it to whoever wants to take it, whoever wants to trust, whoever you most trust. She gives it to Yaz.
Yeah,
she gives it to
Yaz.
Yeah.
We all just look at Yaz.
She holds it out and then immediately realizes, no, I'm going to give it to Yaz. So she hands it to you. Okay. And with that, she says her farewells, gives a final wave, and mounts up on our horse to follow Lucia back towards Cumberland. So, that is this leg of the journey, unless there's anything else anybody wants to do during this leg. We got some more time. Y'all want to roll again for leg 2?
Yeah.
Might as well. We can end on a little note here. I've got a good place for us to end on this leg. So what are we, same people rolling as before?
I don't see that really changing much without.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, do
Yeah.
y'all just want to do the same thing you did the last time? You using
Unless
any
like
of your-
Carter wants to help anyone else this time around.
Garas,
Help Venehn.
what's your strength
It's
mod?
cute.
My string?
Yeah.
It's +3. But I get a +5 because of the horses.
Because of the
Yeah.
horses. Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. So
And are you?
Carter, I am thinking. So we've had this whole like, oh my gosh, he's so brooding, like what's going on with him? Do we even really want to hear what this guy has to say with that? There is an attack on the palace, and it turns out that the guard captain is also like so trained in the blade. Like he's, despite his like muscular features and everything, he's also like super dexterous. He's really svelte. Like he is like bam, bam, bam. You don't even see him coming with the sword, and he protects his prince. And then maybe like at the end of that chapter, they just have a meaningful look. I don't know. We'll see where it goes from there.
So I imagine also that over that 6-month period, there wasn't really a scene that really needed to happen with it because it was a lot of. He mostly only does it when he's in private, but he has been summoning the spirit of Eckert a lot, and it isn't always in private. And now that we're traveling, I think you guys are starting to see a little bit more of that, and so I think. Maybe this is the first time that we've been discussing the book while Eckert has been summoned. And Carter like looks at the wisp and then looks back over to you, and there's like a little moment of panic in his eyes, and he doesn't really say anything. And maybe Eckert says something and it's like, wait, how did you describe him again?
So he's like tall and he's burly. He's got kind of like a mohawk situation, but like also like a, you know, like a little mustache thing going on. He's like brawny and he's like brooding, but also like he carries a lot of like love and also pain in his heart. But his purpose is to serve and protect his prince.
Any similarities to any person's alive or dead is purely coincidental?
I don't know. You tell me, Eckert. You're like the sword guy. What do you
Well,
think?
I think he sounds quite dashing.
Okay. We have an
And-
extremely large reader base now. You can be dead and like this book.
Carter. I like where we are headed with this.
That's adorable. So, are you using any of your exquisite rations for this?
How many?
Yeah, how many
explain
do
to
we
me
have?
again how many
You can
there
use them
are.
3 times.
3 times.
You can
Okay.
use them 3
Okay.
times.
All right.
I said explain. What I meant was what's the number?
Yeah.
I think ultimately that has to come up to you then, but it also seems like we are still early and we don't need to start
This is-
pulling out stops until things start getting harder or we start
I
fucking
feel
things up.
confident. I feel confident.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I feel
All
good
right.
about it.
Everyone roll. All right, so I will start in the same place. Yaz, what did you get?
19.
19. As you're consulting a new map here for the area of Navarra up towards the Silent Plains, becoming you get much better oriented with this region as it's unfamiliar to you. Okay, so that's 4 successes. Garas,
I got a 17.
17. So you have a little bit more trouble this leg navigating the horses as you're traveling unfamiliar roads. So that puts us to 6 successes. Venehn.
21.
21.
That's exactly
That's
what
exactly
we
what we
needed.
needed.
Holy
Holy shit.
665. 12, 13, 17 plus 3. 820 plus Carter 21.
Carter with the clutch.
Damn.
Oh my god.
God damn.
I've been again. I just made up that shit, and I was like coming up with stuff. I picked that 12 number. It seems like that's the sweet spot here. So we will see how this continues. But you are successful in the second leg of your journey.
By the
which means
time
you
we
only-
get back, we're gonna have a fucking book to publish. So get ready.
yeah, so that means you only need to succeed on 2 more legs of the journey to make it there on time.
That's that good stuff.
Yeah. Y'all are rolling well today. Unfortunately, I do not think we'll get to combat this session, but you are traveling north through unfamiliar territory in the border between Orlais and Navarra. The free marches out to the east of you. It's a long journey. There's along like several days of the trip where you're just traveling through essentially wilderness, mostly forested and plains, and no really cities to speak of here. There may be a small like settlement or village like interspersed in between, but you're by and large far away from most of the settled world of Thetis that most of you have lived your entire lives in. You reach the borders of Navarra and approach the Menada River in the distance. Over a couple of days, you're heading down, following a steady decline to the land as you travel towards Navarra. Even at one point, from far in the distance to the west, near the beyond the following the serpentining river, you can actually catch a glimpse of the city of Navarra. Far off in that region, the newly founded city of Navarra, it having only recently obtained its independence from both Tevinter and Orlais in over several centuries of turmoil and strife and changing hands between the two nations. It is not nearly the city that it will one day grow to be, but it is a imposing sight nonetheless.
Everybody starts somewhere.
The largest sort of the most interesting feature of note along this leg of the journey is actually once you cross the Menada River. There is a just enormous, imposing bridge that spans the entire length of the river. The bridge itself stretching for nearly a mile. It is almost probably almost the length of like 100 yards, like a football field across, is just towering stone, monolithic structure with well-worn ancient statuary interspaced along the length of the bridge. It is an imposing and sort of humbling feature of a ancient construct that has stood the passage of time, as you can almost imagine armies traveling or even fighting along its length for the centuries prior. And this bridge marks one of the last structures you see as the topography begins to change. The weather itself is still cold with brisk winds running across the plains, but the greenery and the lush forests and rolling plains of Orlais and southern Navarra fade away and steadily grow more and more interspersed with this desolation of very fine gray sand and that seems to swirl with even the slightest touch of wind as you reach the Silent Plains. It is a gray and wind-blasted wasteland. The sand itself almost more like a fine dust or powder, almost like ash that swirls around you. And there is occasionally rocks interspaced, but overall it is a barren landscape that it does not appear to have been touched by mortal hands in some time, other than this single road that passes through it to the north, cutting towards the Tevinter Imperium. And it is a rather daunting passage to make following this leg of the journey. You have to maintain your carriage very carefully, not to go off the road and find yourself buried within the sands that flank either side of this more impacted, or even in some cases rock-laid road ahead of you. It is bumpy, kind of jostling around, occasionally probably worried about having to stop and check on the state of your cargo to make sure that it's in good condition. But unfortunately, with the length of time that you're passing with the through the plains, fairly your first evening approaches within these deserts, and you find yourself setting up camp in this unfamiliar, very harsh environment, with only the night sky above you, occasionally blotted out by the rolling dust storms that pass through. And I think all of you probably, it's probably a little bit less mirthful, and morale might be a little bit lower at this leg of the journey, as you are unable to really kind of converse and rest as much, as you find yourself sort of huddled in the back of the caravan, or in your tents during this leg of the journey, because of just how inhospitable this place is. I would like one of you to make a perception check. Whoever believes that they would be... Actually, I'm going to roll a d4 for this. I'm going to decide for who's going to be on watch during this shift, because I imagine y'all are taking regular watches. So 1 is going to be Garas, 2 is going to be Venehn, 3 is going to be Carter, 4 is going to be Yaz. I'll roll this out in the open. 1 is Garas. Garas, can you make me a perception seeing check?
Can the reason that Yaz isn't doing this is because she's making a cryptography check to try and
Oh
get
yes, please make
in
me
here?
please make me a cryptography check. That's even more important.
My
than
perception
anything.
is actually pretty good.
18.
18. Okay. You are rather engaged with a pretty salacious chapter of your book. It starts out as just like kind of, a little bit of like kind of flirty stuff with Wolf kind of making some like allusions to like, how the journey's going well, missing you, that kind of stuff. And then it gets kind of hot and heavy with some rather detailed library escapades that might be outlined within the book itself. So kind of hits the ground running pretty quick within this first section.
I see nothing around me.
It's completely, the rest of the world just disappears as you're in your tent, just huddled over reading this, reading what you have.
Making the face like that kid from Turning Red.
So Garas, what did you roll?
I actually got pretty good. 17.
17, nice.
Yeah.
That's our third 17. Garrus dies.
Garrus dies, unfortunately. Yep, that's the rule. Garrus
That's it.
does unfortunately die.
That is a wrap on Garrus. Season wrap on Garrus.
Season wrap on Garas.
Garrus. You are sitting, I imagine, outside of your tent, a small fire that you've built, sort of illuminating this. Just like the smallest little circle of patch of gray and dust ahead of you, and you're huddled up. It's still cold. Even in the sort of desert, like as night falls, like the temperature's just plummeted here, and so you're bundled up, probably like a couple of extra blankets over you as you're just keeping an eye on the distance. And it's difficult here because, you know, not only are you dealing with the limited light that you have from just the dust storms around you, but that dust as it swirls on the outskirts of your campfire just continually like draws your attention. It's nerve-wracking to keep watch because you're constantly seeing something moving in the distance just from the evening winds picking up these cyclones of dust and then carrying them off away. You'll see something and it looks like the shape of, you can almost make out in your tired sleep deprived state like the shape of a person just skulking near the outskirts of the campfire. But you're keeping watch the best you can, occasionally perking up and then settling down. And late into the evening, amidst the winds and the dust catching in your eye, you hear something. It just barely picks up over the sounds of the desert around you. You just hear this like and you draw your attention towards it as you think you hear like something, or so it's like some sort of crunching beyond, and you strain out looking, your eyes narrowing towards this approaching sound, and the fire picks up a little bit, kind of gusts as the wind hits and the light picks up a bit, and as that happens you see a glint of the light catching a reflective surface about 10 yards from the campfire, just outside the radius of the light that it's casting. And this source sort of moves slightly as you catch a very large, two circular eyes glinting a vibrant blue as something stares at you from the darkness. And then one by one, you see more eyes opening near the in a circle around your campfire, and hear and then you just hear the terrible screech overcut all of the others as a swarm of small creatures come lunging towards you from the darkness. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight.
Oh dang. I guess I do die.
You do die. No, we will unfortunately have to do our combat next week. No. For leg 2 of the journey, for whatever might be lurking out in the silent plains.
Okay, obviously not what's written on the tin. Not very silent, screeching little creatures. That's not quiet.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That's fair. They should have relabeled it.
I want my money back.
Yeah, you should petition the HOA to rename this neighborhood. I'm curious for any of our Dragon Age fans. Does anyone know what these are? Just like off their heads. I'm just curious.
Blue eyes? No, you got me.
No, you got me on this one.
Am I catching anybody's?
It's a swarm of Frank Sinatra.
This is a pretty deep cut, I think, from Dragon Age 2. So I don't know.
I didn't really fuck with Dragon Age 2.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
It's
I played the crap out of Dragon Age 2.
I had to build these characters.
It did not grab me the way the
I actually had to
did.
build these monsters myself because they weren't in the book, but they are in the Dragon Age mythos. So I'm excited to see y'all fight them.
Okay, don't tell.
But no, I'm not going to tell you.
Don't
Of
tell.
course not. Of course not. Why would I do that? It's more fun making y'all wait. Just anyway, scouring the book looking for what these might be because they're not in there. But yeah, that will be it for our session. Let's go around, do our stars and wishes, and then we will be done for the night. Van, you want to start us off as usual?
Sure. It's me. I've just been hanging out in the Discord, listening to cool descriptions and trying to figure out who would play Venehn if we did a movie. If you have opinions, post it in our show's channel on the Discord, which you can join. The link is in chat right now. My star is going to go to... I've been fighting with myself the whole session to try to figure it out. But I think my star is going to go to Yasmera. Just because I think... I don't know, even though, and I think I've said this before, but like even though like as a party, we're only kind of getting like little bits and pieces, like those little bits and pieces of like growth and vulnerability that we're getting from Yasmera are just like super interesting, and I eat them for power. So please give me more. No, I just especially like that, like the scene with Wolf, and then like just like in general, just like when we're talking about, you know, how we're gonna pack for the trip, or like even like in the most like mundane conversations, like I just feel like every conversation we get just like a little bit more, and I think that was really really illustrated today. So I just like it, and I want it to keep happening. So that will get my star. My wish is, I don't know. I got a combat hankering. Which I know we're getting next time. So I guess my wish is I just wanna, along this journey, have which I'm assuming is gonna have a pretty decent amount of combat in it. Just to have
Yeah.
some fun, like some fun opportunities for like situational. Does that make sense? Like because we've sort of had a lot of combat on like, you know, battlefields, or not like battlefields, but like in like open spaces, and like the ability to sort of like negotiate and everything. And I just think like I'm very excited for the opportunity to like be in places we've never been, and like biomes we've never been in and stuff, to be able to have to like to be able to have to negotiate it.
Yeah.
Is the best way
Yeah,
to
I think-
describe it. Because I think it's going to be more difficult than what we've had to do before. But I'm
Yeah,
excited for that. So.
There will be some fun. This is the first new environ for for all of y'all to be fighting
Yeah.
at night in a desert.
I just want to keep doing that like over the next few
Yeah,
sessions. Like, let's
I
like
can
find ourselves
definitely-
in like some, you know, some situations that we're really not familiar with.
Yeah.
Because I think that, you know, that lends itself to some really, really interesting use of like moves and talents and things that we've had for a long time and have been using the same way. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see that too. And putting y'all in combat situations that you can't weasel your way out of, other than by fighting or running, I guess, but mostly by fighting. Hopefully, y'all have been experts at avoiding every combat encounter that I could possibly dream up for y'all. So, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Sid.
So much good stuff. My star goes to Detective Carter, Mysteries of Thetis. Carter's on a goddamn mission, and I don't even know if we could say it started with this lyrium thing. I feel like ever since really like the big party, I feel like Carter's been on a mission. But I think getting his love involved and finding out about this red lyrium has lit a fire under his ass. I really love it a lot. It's been interesting to see a sort of a passionate side to Carter in the most impassive human there is. Yeah, it's been very cool. I'm digging it. My wish. I don't really want this. But I do, but I don't. Split the party, Val.
Yes. Your wish is granted. Yes. Can definitely do that. Love it. Love everything about it. Thank you, Sid. Wally.
I'm a simple slime, and when people do a bit and stick with it, I give them my star. So my star is going to Carter just for the whole, and I walk into the room, turn around and back out. That was pure joy.
It was
for
so
me.
hard not to insert myself into Venehn's, and then you guys did it for me.
But
And we did it anyway.
It was great. That really, really, really made me laugh. Also because Detective Carter was taken. That's also my also star because, oh man, I'm loving him, like, because he found that red lyrium and he is like focused on like it's a very film noir kind of plot line for Carter because it's tied into his past and tied into Eckhart, and he wants to know why did he have this, and I really, really, really dig it. My wish, it's kind of like echoing Van's wish of like fighting in different situations and environments. I'm not sure if it will happen if we ever get to a situation like into like this kind of like situation, but I really want to fight in a city, like in like an urban, like in a large city area, because, and not against like guards, but against like a bunch of ruffians who actually decided like, yeah, we're gonna steal this wine because why not? And I really want it to be like a situation where either we have to protect the cart while fighting these people, not just because they may steal what we have, but they may damage the cart and damage the stuff inside. So yeah, I want to be in a situation where we have to protect the cart from getting damaged in a way we can't just like, well, pick up the cart and run away kind of thing. Like we're in a situation where we have to protect it while also fighting off a bunch of people.
I think I can do that. I think I can provide that.
I love the look on Val's face. It's 100% like, yep, already got you, bud.
Val's like, you're wishing
check.
for things I have been planning for several weeks now. Cool.
Those are the
Monkey claw.
best wishes when I already have them. Yeah, another finger curls in your
That's pretty much my wish for like my wishes from now on is just monkey paw.
All right, you have your final wish on the monkey's paw. Sita, what is your starred wish?
Man, this was such an incredibly star-worthy session. There was so much good stuff that it's actually kind of hard to choose one. So I got to give a star to everybody's goodbye scene. They were all wonderful. But to not cop out on that, I will say that I really loved Garas and Lucia's, and their dynamic is great. And part of it is because I brought up in the past, like the masks that we wear, our characters wear, and Garas is definitely bravado. But whenever he's with Lucia, I get the feeling, I mean, it's more than a feeling, you can really feel it, you can see it, that it's actual happiness, that he's not putting on a mask, that he's just really enjoying her company. And it tickles my cold black little heart. I love it.
It's also called being a switch, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's been the most interesting thing is with everybody having these romantic interactions with these NPCs is like I'm really trying to make them very distinct in their personalities and difference. And there's some points where I'm like, oh no, I'm going too much like, you know, Amara is bleeding into Lucia here or something. I'm trying to keep them separate because they do have a lot of like, there are some similarities that I have with those characters, but I'm trying to keep them distinguished in their own dynamics.
And just like a woman who can kick their ass. I mean, they just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to give another star out to Val for rocking the Dragon Age dating simulator. 'Cause, yeah, it's good shit.
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah.
trying my best here. Y'all have given me quite the challenge. I was hoping some of you motherfuckers would romance each other, but it just did not happen. So,
Yeah, who
no,
knows?
I'm loving it. Loving it. What's your? That wasn't your.
Yeah,
That was
so
just your star. What's your wish? All
a
right.
wish.
Last finger on the monkey's paw. What you got?
I want us to get. We're going through Teventer. There better
Yes.
be some goddamn magisters. We better piss off some magisters, and I think it would be really cool if I got a new staff along the way too. We're trying.
Oh boy, if you only.
Or
knew
just
what I had
general
planned for
magic Teventer gear, man. Like we're going through Teventer. We have got to rob the place.
If only y'all knew what I had planned for Minrathis. I'm so ready for it. There's so much. I'm looking at every leg of this journey, like yes, I want to do this. So yeah, it's killing me that it's going to be so many weeks of playing this game. Let's just play for another 20 hours and we can get through all of it.
3 more hours.
All right, the monkey's paw is closed. Your wishes have been granted to whatever effect you will get, and I hope you are ready for it. Thank you everyone out there for watching. That is going to be all for us this evening. I really appreciate you hanging out, enjoying our show and these stories we're telling on this journey. And of course, thank you to my lovely players, because y'all dating sim, all this sort of goodbye stuff. I mean, that's y'all just doing good role play, building out good characters, and engaging with the NPCs that I've created. Nothing makes me happier as a DM, GM, whatever that y'all enjoy the NPCs that I create enough to try to bang them. So that's the ultimate compliment.
Insert whatever BDSM joke.
Yeah. But yes, thank you to my players. So I guess that's it. Join us. You're welcome for the
am
game.
I right?
We will be back next week. Join us in the meantime for tomorrow for Squire Squad at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And then the rest of our shows throughout the week, which are all below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch. That's going to be it. I'm done. See everybody in 1 week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Par-delà le temps, la menace grandit. Si loin dans le silence, on entend ses cris. Par-delà les terres, son nom fait frémir. Préparez-vous, le néant arrive. Les légendes ne se trompent point.